Último metro, va a llegar. ¡Llegó!
240 smooth, fast miles with plenty of water crossing. 25 stages lay in wait. Rally Argentina starts now. Round 5 of the World Rally Championship brings the cars, drivers, and teams to South America for a rally that's as dramatic as its setting. This is Argentina. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen. The competition is based northwest of Buenos Aires in Cordoba. With its soft gravel surface and water splashes, Rally Argentina is a high-speed, high-altitude, high-risk event that will have you on the edge of your seat.
Rally Argentina!
The championship battle is shaping up nicely. Leading the pack is Englishman Richard Burns. He may not have won a rally this year, but he's consistently finished on the podium, earning himself 26 points. Just behind him, and with 2 wins under his belt, is teammate Marcus Grunholm. Behind the leading pair are a trio of Citroens. With 17 points is young French star Sébastien Loeb, winner in Monte Carlo. He shares 3rd place with the most famous face in WRC, Colin McRae. Carlos Sainz was victorious in round 3 in Turkey. He has 16 points. 4 rounds down and 10 to go, and this is how they stand. The French team dominate, but a good result for Marco Martin or Tommy Mäkinen or even Petter Solberg will put them right up there among the leaders. It's a big weekend for Tommy Mäkinen. The 4-time world champ is considering retiring at the end of the season. His performance here in Argentina is crucial to his decision. If it's not a good weekend for the Finn, we might be saying goodbye to a rally legend. He holds the highest number of wins here, 3, a record he shares with Mickey Biasin. He also knows that deep in these rutted roads lies danger. Mäkinen was chasing Marcus Grunholm for victory last year when he had this huge smash. The irony was he didn't need to push so hard. Grunholm was disqualified for an infringement of the servicing rules, handing victory to his teammate Richard Burns. But the champagne spray was barely dry when he too was disqualified when his engine's flywheel was found to be too light. Eventually, Carlos Sainz was handed the win.
Yes, of course, I was not happy about the winning like that, but maybe that compensates sometimes. I've been losing rallies in the last moment.
This year, the Peugeots are back. They want to avenge themselves.
For me, I have nothing to prove. I won it last year, so now try to do the same, but I don't know if it's possible.
This is Citroen's first outing in Argentina. Sébastien Loeb, Carlos Sainz, and Colin McRae know there's a tough job ahead if they're to grab the top spot on the podium this weekend in Argentina.
And it's a rally where you really do need confidence in the car, because there's a lot of hidden bumps and jumps, and you've got to be sure that when you hit them, that the car's going to take it well. And at the moment, I just haven't got the confidence I would like.
This is the second event for the new Focus. Despite retiring with engine failure in New Zealand, Marco Martin proved the car has speed. Now Ford needs to make sure it's reliable as well.
The last test we had was like no problems at all, and I'm positive that it should be better rally than New Zealand for us.
Also looking to the future are Skoda. They've scored points on every round so far, and it's not long before Didier Auriol and Tony Gardemeister will be behind the wheel of the brand new Fabia WRC. Hyundai desperately need points. They've scored just 3 so far. It's a big task ahead for Armin Schwartz and Freddie Loix. The Argentine fans are fanatical. There's thousands of them expected to turn up to cheer on the crews. They were expecting to applaud local hero Gabriel Pozo, but at the pre-rally shakedown, he fell foul of the rough conditions, breaking his car in the hearts of many of his admirers.
We had a very big problem in the shakedown, big stone, and was a problem with the engine. The engine was finished, and it's impossible to continue in the rally.
Located in South America, Argentina is a vast country with a varied geography. There's glaciers in the south, the Andes to the west, and rainforest in the north. Cordoba lies in the Sierra Chica Mountains, and it's on the edges of the peaks that the rally takes place. 3 days of fierce competition, 25 grueling tests against the elements of the clock. And it all starts with 2 runs through the crowd-pleasing super special stage on Thursday night. This man-made stage is just over 1.5 miles long, and the cars rally side by side. Marcus Grunholm won the first run through, and teammate Richard Burns was the fastest on the second. That means Marcus takes an early lead, but it's only 2 seconds that separate him from Petter Solberg's Subaru. You can bet Grunholm will be looking to open that gap when the rally proper begins. Will there be a few surprises waiting for the flying fin? Remember, a few of these cars are an unknown quantity, not having competed in Argentina before.
Well, guys, with me again is Nikki Grist. Now, Nikki, the rally this year is quite different to the one last year. How's it changed?
They have. The organisers have gone more in line with the World Championship regulations, and we've got one single service area for the whole 3 days based in the northeast of the original route.
But as a result, we've lost El Condor, one of the most famous and the highest altitude rally stage in the World Championship.
It is, but we've still got some great classic stages here. There's one Ascachinga La Cumbre. I mean, it's my personal favourite and the best that I've ever driven on in Argentina. And there's a lot of other good stages up here, so we're still going to have a great rally.
Now, the character of the stages in Argentina, it changes from stage to stage, doesn't it? They're all quite different.
They are. We're faced with a very sandy surface for the majority, but there's also a lot of loose rocks and bedrock surfaces, but there's a lot of danger at the sides. Big boulders, small stones. The cars at all angles over jumps and bumps, and of course the one thing that probably Argentina is famous for is the water splashes. I would say that we've probably got more water splashes here than we have in the whole of the rest of the World Championship.
Now, because the stages have changed, it means that a lot of them, nearly all of them, are run twice, double usage, which means they're going to get very cut up.
They are, and unfortunately there's parts that haven't been repaired from last year, and another problem that they've got is a local rally had used them 3 weeks ago, and quite literally they're quite rutted now, so they're going to be getting worse and worse and worse, and those poor guys running down the back are going to be running on the floor pan.
Now listen, if it is going to be that rough, we're going to look at cars on the podium that can really cope with the rough stuff.
We are. I mean, the strength of the cars is all important. I mean, Ford have obviously been very, very strong in the past, but my money's on Marcus Grunholm. The guy is full of confidence. I mean, he's run twice on the shakedown stage. He was happy. That was it. Let's get out of here. And I think my money's on him.
But you know who I'm going to go for? I'm going to go for Marco Martin in the Ford Focus, the new all-singing, all-dancing Ford Focus that went so fast in New Zealand until, of course, it was let down by the hydraulic problems. Yeah. Ford say they've sorted them out. I still think Marco is desperate for a win. He still hasn't won a rally.
I think you're right. I think he's going to be there or thereabouts for sure, but I think that front end is going to be a little bit weak in some of these water splashes. I hope they've got a good selection of front bumpers.
I'm sure they probably have. Well, whichever way you look at it, it's going to be so exciting here in Argentina.
Well, Marco Martin would certainly be a good pick, but it sure is hard to bet against Marcus Grunholm. All right, those are our experts, Nikki Grist and Penny Mallory. Our first stage is El Raposo, 6 miles of very smooth gravel that's expected to be very quick. That's soon followed by Canada de Rio Pinto, where the surface is a little more rutted. First to test the water is Richard Burns. This is his second season in a Peugeot 206, yet he still hasn't won for the team. Now that's not necessarily because he's off the pace, it's because the car in front is another Peugeot, which belongs to this guy, Marcus Grunholm. The Finn just keeps on winning, and he's brimming with confidence, and it shows in his driving. On the smooth surface, his average speed about 65 miles an hour. 5 minutes, 51 seconds was Burns' time. The clock on the right will show you just how close the Peugeot teammates are. 6 seconds faster. Once again, Marcus lays down the challenge to his rivals. This is Sebastian Loeb's first taste of Rally Argentina. They say that experience counts for everything here, but Loeb's currently in 7th and could have a shot at some points. Colin McRae's chances of setting the stage record fell apart at the start. Only half the morning gone, and McRae's already half a minute down, but he's happy with the car. Carlos Sainz admitted he had reservations about how the Zara would perform on these rough stages, but he's going pretty well, 3rd overall. It's good news for Marco Martin, too. Once again, his focus is flying. He sets the 2nd fastest time on El Reboso.
33 minus right.
Let's take a look inside the car. The most obvious change is all instruments have moved from the dash to the middle of the floor, lowering that center of gravity. He's 6th overall and chasing down Tommy Mäkinen, who's just 2 seconds in front. But the Subaru on the pace is Petter Solberg. He started the day 2nd overall and determined to catch Grönholm. But the Norwegian is complaining that his car's stepping out of line on left-hand corners. He could be in trouble. On the right is Grönholm's time and Solberg's.
Opens 14, short 5 left tightens, into early short 6 right.
Petter's slower, Grönholm still leads, and the gap is now 9 seconds. It's not been the greatest start to a rally for Skoda. Tony Gardemeister picked up a time penalty for a breach of recce rules. He's down in 18th, and it's a long way back up into the points. There's still 2 stages to go before the cars can go to service, and this is how they stand. Grönholm has opened his lead to 9 seconds from Solberg, who's fending off Carlos Sainz. At the other end of the leaderboard is Colin McRae Citroen, PDA Oriole Skoda, and it's not a good start for the Hyundais of Armin Schwartz and Freddie Lloyd. At just over 9 miles, Villa Albertina is the longest of the day so far. As Nicky Grist tells us, it's a tough test with all the features you'd expect.
The larger majority of the entry will not have competed on this stage. Again, a great driver's stage with some jumps and also some lovely twisty sections. But for me, the key points are the 3 deep water splashes we have right at the end. There's no way of avoiding them. They're generally covered with bogs at either side. The crews have to be very careful of the speed they go through this, because if they take water into the engine and it starts misfiring, they're going to lose a lot of time.
2nd place, Petter Solberg's hoping to keep Grönholm in his sights. But it's a left-hand corner that ruins the Norwegian's event. On a rally that's renowned for its huge crowds, Petter rolls where there are none, and he drops down to 14th. As Solberg's battle ends, teammate Mäkinen's is just about to begin. This is a make-or-break weekend for the 4-time world champion, and on this stage, he proves he's determined to make it. As he approached the end of the stage, the clock tells you just how determined he is.
110 huomio, pitkä Koovasen helppona sisältä aukeaa maaliin, vesijätössä.
Marginally quicker than Grönholm, but it's enough to win the stage and snatch 2nd overall. Marco Martin's Ford Focus is once again proving it's fast, but perhaps this time he should have been going a little slower. He carries too much speed into the jump and launches the car high into the air. It's a heavy landing on the nose, but the car sustains no serious damage. Some of the rallying's most bizarre incidents have happened here in Argentina. It's a roll of honor that Armin Schwartz might not want to join, but he's about to. Now, you know how Nicky Grist warned you about those water splashes? Well, apparently, Armin submerged his Hyundai, and now his door won't close. But what about that jump of Marco Martin's? Nicky?
Using Virtual Spectator, I want to show you who was the most committed over one of the rally's fastest and biggest jumps. Here, Marco Martin is the quickest, but only by 4 kilometers over Grönholm. But when we freeze him on the jump, the young gun is now 17 k's faster than Grönholm. He's just lifted off the throttle, whereas the others have braked and slowed down in the process. This is testimony to the young Estonian's commitment and confidence in his new Ford Focus.
dirt track, Speed News brings you all you need to know to stay in the loop. It's good to see that tailgating is alive and well in Argentina. Stage 6 is 11 miles of peril, which in places is littered with some pretty big stones. Marco Martin already showed he's fearless when it comes to the jumps, but did he learn any lessons?
Care, keep left, narrow bump.
Again, no damage, but he'll be looking forward to checking it out in service. Marcus Grunholm enters the stage, hoping to open up the 14-second lead he now holds over Tommy Mäkinen.
Hyppy täys, 120. Ja hyppy 5, oikein pitkä, nopea, kirraa. 5 ja vasen pirun pitkä hidas. 100. Oikein pitkä eri miinus. Toista pitkä eri miinus. 8. Otto täys. 300.
Marcus has actually said that sometimes when he gets too big of a lead, he finds himself getting bored behind the wheel, finds it difficult to focus, and that's when he can make mistakes. There's one right there, and Grunholm's Peugeot collides with a rock just 1.5 miles into the stage. Because Marcus's lead is not only threatened by Mäkinen, Carlos Sainz is on a charge. He's just 2 seconds off Tommy, and he's on a mission. Mäkinen's time and Sainz's target is on the clock.
Derecha, derecha, rápida, menos, izquierda rasa, fondo. Rasante, fondo, izquierda rápida, menos, se cierra.
Carlos takes Citroen's first ever stage win in Argentina and grabs Mäkinen's second place. Down in 13th overall with damage evident after his roll on the previous stage is Petter Solberg, still fighting the car. He was only 8th fastest, but he did just sign a 3-year deal that will keep him behind the wheel of Subaru through 2006.
4 left plus long, tightens a bit, opens flat 300. Flat crest 150. Keep right into 5 left long over crest, keep in 30. Early short, 5 right. Into cut, flat early 6 left plus, into 6 right minus, keep in. And early 5 left plus half long, opens flat 80. Flat crest 160.
Also at the other end of the pack is Freddie Loix. This time last year he was taking stage wins in Argentina. This year, it's a very different story. The accent just can't keep up with the leaders, and he's over a minute down. The Belgian stopped on the stage to try to fix the problem. He managed to limp to the end, but retirement was inevitable. The collision with the rock didn't cost Marcus too much time, and he holds on to the lead, but it's now Sainz who is the closest rival. Martin is in 4th with Burns and McRae behind. At last, a much-needed service, and no one needs it more than Petter Solberg.
Petty, you've been on the roof this morning. What happened?
Well, just on the side. No, he had a problem from the start with some left-hand bends, you know. Every time we brake, the car went sideways, just in left-handers. Right-handers, the car was perfect. So we think it's the center diff now. A little bit unlucky, but that's how it is.
The mechanics had just 20 minutes to get the car fixed, but they get the job done, and Petter's back at it. It's a different story on the other side of the Subaru camp. It's a relaxed Tommy Mäkinen who heads out and challenges for the lead, but first he'll have to catch Sainz.
Carlos, are you satisfied after the first 4 stages this morning?
Well, things are not too bad at the moment. We are just starting the rally, and it seems not to be in easy conditions, but yeah, everything working well at the moment. We have to change now power steering, but I hope it's no problem.
Marco, rally drivers aren't supposed to get scared, but a few scary moments for you this morning.
That's right. We had like too many scary moments this morning, and one of them we had just a bit too big jump, which I didn't like because all I could see was just the sky from my windscreen, and then we landed on the nose as well, and it's very high speed, so it wasn't very relaxing. I lost all my concentration with the rest of the stage, and it wasn't so easy to drive. But after that, yeah, it has been good day, but very hard work to drive. Not very happy with the setup of the car at the moment.
Trying to ford a river at over 80 miles an hour in a rally car is not easy. Nicky Grist with World Rally swimming lessons when we come back.
One of the major characteristics of Rally Argentina are the water splashes. There are probably double the amount of water splashes in Rally Argentina than we'd find in the rest of the World Championship put together. This is a typical example, but this is only one of quite a few. This is more or less straightforward and on a corner. But for example, this one, it is deeper, it is longer, and it's faster. But the ones the crews have to be really careful of are river crossings, just like this. They are long, they are deep, and they are fast. And if the teams don't prepare correctly, the engine will fill up with water, and that means end of rally.
Outside of swamp buggy racing, where would you see a car go flying through a river like that? Truly an amazing part of the World Rally Championship. First up, though, are stages 7, 8, and 9. Nicky Grist takes a closer look at one of the most grueling of these tests, La Cumbre.
The crews face everything Argentina can throw at them in this stage. It passes high over the Sierra Chicas, which is normally covered in fog and mist, making it exceptionally difficult for crews. Tommy Mäkinen has been exceptionally quick here in the past. It can be quite narrow, but also a lot of slippery places. A very tight and twisty section in the middle, with tight hairpins where it's vital to get the car round in one turn if you're to set a quick time. Some water splashes and jumps, and also finishes slightly earlier this year.
It's been a while since Marcus Grönholm has felt any pressure, but with signs of Mäkinen breathing down his neck, he knows his lead is anything but safe. For the second time today, he hits a rock, but this time the reigning world champ's not going to get away lightly. The wheel's dragging at a 45-degree angle. It ultimately cost him nearly 2 minutes. Sainz is now the rally leader. Last year, the Spaniard won this rally by default. This year, he's relishing his chance of winning it fair and square, if he can survive. Sebastian Loeb's been enjoying a trouble-free run in his Citroën. Rough gravel rallies was one area that Citroën wasn't sure about how their Zara was performed. They have worked extensively on their brakes. They're much better now than they were on the rough gravel rallies. And they also have worked on their power-assisted steering. And they're looking for more power when it comes to driving the car up out of the tight corners. This off, however, is the only mistake Sebastian's made so far. He's quickly back underway, and it looks like another impressive debut for the young French driver. It's been an interesting day inside Marco Martin's car. So far, he's avoided trouble in the jumps and the water splashes.
Oil temperature alarm.
But when trouble comes, it comes from the car itself. Close to the end of the stage, he loses 4th and 5th gears. On stage 9, he lost 6th. He gets to the end with just 3 gears left. The normally cool Estonian isn't really pleased.
It won't change gear every now and then. It just keeps going like it's missing gear, like one gear is broken, and we just changed to manual after the stage, and the rod is loose. It's not attached to anything.
Last year on this very stage, Tommy Mäkinen lost his gearbox. On exactly the same hairpin, it happened again. He only has 1 gear, and that's 2nd. The Finn's destined to lose over 7 minutes. This might just be the moment that Tommy Mäkinen decides his WRC future. After continuing to battle through the day, Colin McRae's in a points position, 7th overall. But 4.5 kilometers into stage 9, his engine packed it in. Solberg passes the straight car just a couple of minutes later. But by the the time Armin Schwartz reaches the scene, the car is an inferno. The handbrake is completely burned out, and the car is rolling across the stage all by itself. By the time the mechanics arrive to retrieve the car, it's nothing but a burned out shell.
We had a fire in the car. I don't know why, and probably won't find out because the whole car's burnt out now, but it just went on fire, and it got so bad towards the end we had to stop and get out, and it was it was already too big a fire to put out. A good clean run would have got some good points at the end, but no, this time.
It wasn't just McRae's car that went up in flames. Unfortunately, 10 acres went up as well. After an amazing group of stages, it's all changed on the leaderboard. Sainz is out on top. Harry Rovanperä in third. Peugeot has taken advantage of the problems with the cars ahead and moved into second, while Loeb is third. Meanwhile, the once leader limps home.
Marcus, you've lost the lead in spectacular fashion. What happened?
No, it was one corner I maybe came too fast and I was sliding wide, and there was really a big stone in the bank. That's hard, really hard, and I thought we lost the whole rear axle, but no, it was there, but really difficult to drive the last 20 Ks.
Meanwhile, Marco Martin's got some major repair work as well.
Marco, it's been a frustrating last couple of stages for you. What happened?
Yeah, they were not the easiest. We only had first 3 gears, and the last one was quite a long stage and very fast stage, so we lost quite a lot of time there.
Okay. Johnny, grab the back of the box. Come on, Johnny, wake up.
11 minutes.
Is that it, Tom?
Apparently Johnny woke up, and just in the nick of time, he's out of service and back in the battle. We'll be right back. Day one's final stages are repeats of this morning's test. This time, there's more rocks on the road, and it's a lot more treacherous. With Grunholm's earlier problems, Richard Burns is one place closer to victory. All he needs to do is make up the 34 seconds that separate him from Sainz. It's a lot to ask for, but he has the car and the talent to do it.
Slight right 40, right max in. 60, long crest 10, right max in. 120, flat right minus over long crest in, tightens maybe. 30 flat right.
There are some rumors floating around that one name that might replace Tommy Mäkinen if he does leave Subaru could be Richard Burns. He could return to the seat where he won his one world championship.
100, left max 80, fast right, in tightens maybe.
Marcus, meanwhile, is down but not out. He's pushing hard, believing he can pull off the comeback of the season. He wins the first of the 2 stages and edges closer to Burns. Harry Rovanperä is now the best of the Peugeots, but his hold on second place is so slim, less than 1 second. In the patched up Focus is Marco Martin. He's back in business using all 6 gears and going flat out. The stage win confirms it's a great recovery from the driver and the car.
30, 4 minus right, keep in, run maybe. 100. 3 plus left.
Now Martin has his eye on Carlos Sainz's lead. There's still 2 stages to go today, and if Martin continues like this, Sainz is going to be in danger. The men to watch are Martin and Grunholm. Although it looks an impossible task for Grunholm, he'll enjoy putting the pressure on Richard Burns, who's under a minute ahead. Stage 12, the second run through the rutted, rock-strewn Villa Albertina, which didn't have a great start for Burns. Out of sight of the camera, he hit the back of the car, blowing out the rear window, and the spoilers hanging off. But his time is still good. Is it enough to beat Grunholm? The world champ knows he has an opportunity to take even more time out of his teammate and closest rival. He set the fastest time on 12 and continues to charge on 13.
200. Oikein helppo. 120.
Grunholm approaches the end of the stage, and once more, he's faster than Burns. He'll be on a huge charge tomorrow. So will Sebastian Loeb. He has Harry Rovanperä in his sights, and there's just 8 seconds between the Citroën and the Peugeot. No sign of the gearbox problems coming back in Martin's car. It's a trouble-free run, and on the day's last stage, he sends a warning to Sainz. He cuts the Spaniard's lead to just over 20 seconds.
You're going to finish the day second. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too bad. We definitely lost quite a lot of time, but luckily everybody else did the same. So we are in a good position, but it's a long way to go, and we have to keep pushing.
We lost a little bit of time on one of the stages in the middle of the day, but okay, we've been opening the road, and I don't know what position we're in until we see everybody else's time here, but okay, good clean run.
You must be very pleased to be leading at the end of the first day of the rally.
Yes, people is coming very fast behind now.
Are you a bit surprised to be the leader?
Well, I think everything is going fine for us, so we will see tomorrow.
Day 2 does look to be action-packed. Martin's out to catch Sainz, and the fully focused Marcus Grunholm's looking for a miraculous recovery. At the other end of the table, Petter Solberg finds himself way down the order, nearly 3 minutes behind. With more of the day, here's Nicky Grist.
The Sierra Chicas behind me hasn't been very easy on the cruise today. All manner of problems, and if today's anything to go by, tomorrow could be a cracker. Poor old Armin Schwarz on stage 5 went through a water splash and the door burst open. The problem was he couldn't keep it shut after that. Had to do stage 6 with the window down with his arm holding it shut. That couldn't have been easy on him. Poor old Marco Martin came in after his gearbox problem, had a face as long as sin. And I know that him and Malcolm Wilson have definitely had words. There'd been a bit of shouting, but I think they've come out of it all right, and they've got it all to fight for tomorrow. You know, let's hope that Marcus Grönholm can perhaps pull something after his problems. But I think Argentina is very, very tricky. It's going to be difficult, but all to play for.
Rally Argentina has tested every team member to the limit. Over the next 2 days, there's even more to come. Stay with us.
The leaderboard changed constantly on day 1 thanks to the rough Argentinian roads taking their toll on almost everyone. Even Marcus Grönholm hit a big rock, and that put him down to 6th place overall. But it was Carlos Sainz who was to come out on top, 22.4 seconds ahead of Marco Martin in the Ford Focus. But Richard Burns, Harry Rovanperä and Sebastian Loeb are separated by just 10 seconds. And there's absolutely no reason at all why that drama and tension shouldn't continue today.
South American fans are ready for some of that drama and tension to begin as day 2 gets underway. With this being the only round of the WRC held in the Americas, people come from all over the continent, camping out for days to get the best spot to catch a glimpse of their heroes. And some of them get really close. Before the stage starts, there's a few minutes for the crews to make last-minute preparations and to catch up with the news. The atmosphere is relaxed, but there's some serious business to come.
You must have it in the back of your mind that you can at least get onto the podium.
Yes, I try to go on the podium. That would be good. Okay, it's a long rally. We will see what we can do.
Do you get more fired up when you're a bit behind like this? Do you get more motivated?
We will see. I think yes. I try to go fast now to really catch them, but I think they will also fight.
Wouldn't surprise you if we see a big charge from Marcus Grönholm today?
He started one yesterday, and I don't suppose he's going to stop it now.
Does that worry you at all?
No, like I say, what the thing to focus on is what's in front, not what's behind.
Marco, 22.4 seconds down on Carlos Sainz going into day 2 of the rally. What's your plan of attack today?
I think the plan has to be maximum attack, and nothing else we can really do because we have Peugeots quite close behind, and it's a long way to go, and nothing else, just flat out.
You've got Marco behind you, about 22 seconds. That's not a big lead on stages like here in Argentina where they're so rough.
No, I think he was doing very well yesterday, and also Marcus is coming very fast, so he was taking some time both, but I can only try my best. I think yesterday we were pushing very hard, and I will do the same today.
He's been your teammate the last couple of years. You must know a few things about him, a few secrets.
Well, I know he's a very good driver.
Rally HQ is in Cordoba, located 550 miles northwest of Buenos Aires. Outside the city, 25 stages twist and turn their way up and over the peaks of the Sierra Chica Mountains. Today, there are 9 stages scheduled, but South America's only rally was destined to become a victim of its own success. There's 1 million fans expected to come out on the stages and watch the action this weekend. It looks like most of them came to see the first stage of the day, 14 miles of Capilla del Monte. There were just too many people packed onto the roadside for the stage to be run safely, and it was canceled. With time running out, it's a huge blow to Grönholm's come-from-behind chances. Next, the crews are about to face 2 of the roughest stages in the whole rally. That means 20 long miles of rock-strewn roads before the next surface. First into the stage is one of the youngest crews in the WRC, Mikko Urvonen and co-driver Jarmo Lehtinen.
3 lyhyt vasen oikein nopea. 110. Oikein serpo tiukka. Heti vasen serpo.
From his onboard camera, it's easy to see why this is such a tricky stage. It's narrow, twisty, and has some nasty jumps. Tommy Mäkinen's next. He's down to 19th and admitted that he's finding it hard to get motivated.
Vasen nopea ylihyppy. Heti oikein nopea varos sisään. Ja lyhyt vasen nopea 10. Vasen oikein nopea miinuskapeen.
Tony Gardemeister has scored points in every rally so far this season. A 1-minute time penalty has left him down at 11th. He needs to make up at least 40 seconds if he's to score here in Argentina. Didier Auriol is one of the most successful drivers in the World Rally Championship. He has 20 WRC wins and was world champion in '94. Skoda are hoping his past experience will help in the development of the new Fabia WRC, which will replace the Octavia later this year. When Petter Solberg rolled his car yesterday, it was a huge blow for his championship chances. The points are still within his grasp. Ford's Francois Duval tried hard to keep Solberg off his tail, but the Norwegian was faster and pocketed 7th. Marcus Grönholm loves a good fight, and he's relishing the prospect of what lies ahead. Richard Burns set the record on San Marcos Sierra 2 years ago in a Subaru Impreza. As he approaches the end of the stage, it looks like Grönholm's going at a similar pace. A 1/10 of a second slower, but it's the times Burns is setting this year that really interests him. However, his chances of catching the leaders are about to be further frustrated.
Yeah, sure, okay, sorry.
Once again, Rally Argentina was to suffer from crowd enthusiasm. Literally thousands of fans were lining the stage, and in the interest of safety, it was stopped. The remaining drivers were awarded the same time as Grönholm and asked to make their way to the start of the next stage. There's just one change in the top half of the leaderboard as Petter Solberg swaps places with Francois Duval. Just out of the points are Armin Schwartz, Didier Auriol, and Tony Gardemeister. But barely any competitive miles run, and the tension builds in Argentina. Two-Wheel Tuesday comes at you on Tuesday nights. Don't miss the May 20th edition. Mikhail Petty joins host Greg White. Next up, the rocky roads of Stage 16. Nikki Grist breaks it all down for us.
This stage runs through a base of a valley and is flat out from the start through narrow gates and cattle grids. A very tight and twisty section in the middle, but then opens out again with a lot of big crests and jumps. A lot of dust is expected and caused some problems last year. There's a number of water splashes, but this one is flat out in 5th gear, where you literally skate right across the top of the surface. After that, it's a short blast to the end.
Thanks, Nicky. It looks like a challenging stage. Tony Gardemeister entered the valley determined to fight his way into the points. His chances, however, of continuing his scoring run were smashed when his drive shaft broke.
Oikein vasen 6.
It cost the Finn a minute in time. Armin Schwartz has had an incident-filled Rally Argentina. First, his door flew open through a water splash. Then he came across Colin McRae's burning car in the middle of a stage. As you can imagine, Armin isn't looking for any more surprises. The Hyundai is geared more towards Loix's driving style than Schwartz's. Although with shock development work on the Hyundai, it has helped Armin tremendously. After all the delays, the battle's on for Marcus Grunholm. He'll use every inch of the 14.2 miles ahead to catch the leading pack. Did you see that dog in the middle of the stage? Talk about a heart-stopping moment.
Ja nyt oikein helppo. 8, vaseri helppo. 5 oikein miinusahdas. Ja miinusahdas. Ja vasen eri. 7 oikein jouhee. Sumppu. 7 ja oikein täys. 9 ja vasen eri yli nypyn. 5 ja nyppy vasen
Marcus
nopea,
says if
paljon
anybody's going to
vettä.
beat him this year in the chase for the championship, it's going to be a driver who's very consistent. He feels the points will favor that type of driving. Right now, that's exactly what Richard Burns has been doing.
7 ja vaseri helppo. 120.
But still, Marcus goes on to set the time everyone has to beat here.
Stage is clear for Marcus. Ui. Ei siinä kivessä ollut mitään, mä vaan pelasin.
First to rise to the challenge is Sebastian Loeb in the Citroen Zara. He currently holds a 15-second lead over Grunholm. Unlike Marcus, the Frenchman has never driven this stage before, and his lack of experience is putting his 5th place in jeopardy. Loeb becomes Grunholm's first victim. Next on the world champs hit list is Peugeot teammate Harry Rovanperä.
Go plus.
The Finn doesn't have a great run. He too is slower than Marcus, and he's only 6 seconds ahead overall. Stay with us, the leaders are up next.
You're watching Rally Argentina.
Best of the Peugeots on Argentina's stage 16 is Richard Burns. He's 3rd overall.
30. Easy left plus long opens 100.
The 2001 world champ is just off the pace of Grunholm, but it's enough to keep him safe for now. In the Ford Focus, Marco Martin's not thinking about the battle behind him. He wants to snatch the rally lead from Carlos Sainz up front. Marco was fastest on 2 stages yesterday, and a win on Cucci Corral would be a great way to kick off his challenge. But he's not as fast as Grunholm either.
50, 6 minus left very narrow. 100, 4 plus right narrow, don't cut. And crest 20, left.
There's only one man left who can beat the world champ's time, and it's a former world champion, Carlos Sainz. There's tough decisions to be made in this Citroen. Does Sainz push and open up his lead, or does he take it more carefully and protect the position? It's interesting to note that at the end of last season, Carlos was out of a ride. He kind of had to maneuver around, wait for things to settle down, and take a bit of a pay cut to slot in with Citron. One thing Carlos said was that he was fed up with being told that he was running strong based on his experience, not his speed as a driver. So far this weekend, he's showing it's his speed. His contract with Citron is up at the end of this year. Will his paycheck go back up as he proves maybe that he really does still have what it takes to be one of the top rally drivers in the world? A stage win for the rally leader. El Matador is at his best. Sainz keeps Martin at bay and stretches his lead to 27 seconds. Grunholm's moved up a place. Harry Rovanperä and Richard Burns will have to push hard to keep their teammate at bay. At service, it was the usual mixed reactions from the drivers.
Sebastian, you've dropped a place to Marcus Grönholm after stage 16. Why so slow?
It's a stage which is new for me, and it's very difficult. You have a lot of jumps and in some fast places, and when you don't know the road, when it's the first time, it's very difficult to go very fast on these places, and didn't find a good rhythm, and I knew that in the stage that I was losing some time, but
Marco, how frustrating has this morning been?
There's been quite a lot of waiting around and just thinking is the stage going to be run or not. So it's not very nice to drivers to sit around and not do stages, and same for spectators, I think.
You need every kilometre possible to try and catch Carlos during this rally, though.
Yes, but at the moment it seems like it's going other way around. He was faster than us on a stage we did, so we have to keep pushing a bit harder to make sure we can turn it to our advantage.
What about the next group of stages coming up? Are they going to be tricky yet again?
I think in this rally it's quite easy to hit a rock or something. They are quite close, and sometimes it has been a little bit in the limit, but it's the way that you have to go.
The 2003 Rally Argentina is shaping up to be one of the best events of the current season. Stay with us, plenty more coming your way here on Speed.
Each rally is made up of 3 different types of sections. We have service areas, we have special stages, and we have road sections. Now, each of these sections are allocated a set amount of time, and the crews must follow this time very, very strictly. If they check in late at any of these time controls, they are penalized at 10 seconds per minute on their stage times. If they check in early, it's 1 minute penalty per minute. This particular car behind has arrived at the yellow board, which is the start of the control zone, early. He has to wait until the minute preceding his check-in time. Only then is he allowed to go up to the red board, which designates the start control. Now we're at the time control, and at the correct moment, the co-driver will hand the time card to the marshal, where it will be stamped with his correct check-in time. Then he'll be given 3 minutes to prepare themselves to go to the start line. Here we are at the start line. When a car is pulled up onto the starting line, he breaks a beam, which designates he's in position. Then the start time that he was given at the time control is shown on the clock behind, and when all the lights go out, he starts the special stage.
The intricacies of the World Rally Championship. Nothing else like it in the world of motorsports. Let's not forget, though, that Marcus Grönholm is in the process of trying to pull off the comeback of the century. He's already grabbed Loeb's 5th place, and now he's set his sights on the podium. But as Nicky tells us, the Finn can't afford for anything to go wrong on the rally.
The roads of Argentina are very unique and unpredictable. The base is made up of large rocks with sand placed on top and compacted, but with the passage of every car it breaks up ruts. Here you can see how these rocks have been exposed. Here's an example from yesterday. Marcus Grönholm running 2nd car on the road, through this left-hand corner, road intact, without any problems. But 4 cars later, Petter Solberg in the same corner. Here, can you see how this large rock's been exposed, causing him a massive moment?
If you think what you've seen so far is rough, you haven't seen anything yet. The next batch of tests are the roughest of all Rally Argentina stages. There's over 25 miles of rutted road separating Marcus Grönholm from the safety of the service park, but he's not intimidated by the conditions. He's fastest on Cosquin, and Harry Rovanperä has to be feeling the pressure now. He knows his 5-second lead is about to evaporate. 14 seconds down, victim number 2 for Grönholm. Rovanperä is off the pace, and in the next stage, he'll be under pressure from Sebastian Loeb. Still fighting in the second Ford is Francois Deval. Earlier today, he was passed by Solberg. He's opened out a 1-minute lead over the Belgian, but it won't help him to get involved in the tussle ahead. Sebastian Loeb's had another great day on the Argentinian stages. He's just 2 seconds away from grabbing 5th place away from Harry Rovanperä. Rovanperä's woes continue. His steering rack's bent and sticking, and he has to give it everything to keep Sebastian Loeb off his tail. It's too much to ask of Rovanperä. Once again, he slides down the standings. Marcus Grönholm is convinced Carlos Sainz is going too well to lose the lead. But still, he's driving to his absolute maximum. A podium place is well and truly deserved. A win on stage 18 is followed by second fastest time on 19. Richard Burns can be victim number 3. His lead over Grönholm is cut to just 8 seconds. The new Ford Focus and Marco Martin are having a great weekend so far. Someone was going to fall foul of the rough conditions, and unfortunately for the Estonian, it was his car. He broke the rear track, and his tire comes off the rim of the wheel. Lucky, the next stop service.
Easy right, 36 right long.
It's a totally different atmosphere up front. Carlos Sainz is really enjoying himself. He doesn't like the road conditions, but the car feels great.
Izquierda rápida más 2. Rasante fondo, izquierda rápida, desciende rasante
And the feeling's getting better all the time.
2. Rasante fondo por izquierda, bota poco 3 por izquierda.
Another stage win, and the lead stretched to over half a minute.
Muy bien, me da la sensación. ¿Ibas con el 3 del DTP? ¿Ibas con el 3 del DTP?
This is what the WRC is all about. Marcus Grönholm is stalking Richard Burns, who knows that there's everything to drive for. He's still in the hunt for victory, and it's a relief to be heading back to the safety of service. Where a bizarre twist was about to fall on Carlos Sainz. A mix-up at the end control meant the Spaniard entered the area a minute early. It's anxious moments in the Citroen camp. Sainz has been penalized. 1 minute slapped on his time.
Mark, looks like you've had a big mistake. What happened there?
We don't understand. But Carlos, he was thinking that I said go ahead, and I said wait. And just when he started, I tried to follow the car, but it was too late.
Whose mistake is this? Yours, the team's, or Carlos's?
It's my mistake. It's always my mistake. But I must go into the car or catch the car or try to do the best. But
how upset is Carlos, your driver?
Normal. 1 minute is quite a lot of time. Sorry.
Marcus, looks like you're going to be having a very big battle with Richard Burns.
No, it's not only Richard. I think Marco is also there, and we try to fight to catch him also, but I don't know if it's possible, but I will.
Do you feel that confident now that you can get second place?
Not yet. It's a long way still.
Marcus Grönholm says he's going to try and catch Marco Martin. That means he's going to pass you.
Of course. That's what he's going to try and do, and my job is to try and stop him.
Stay with us to find out if he can pull it off. More of the WRC's Rally Argentina coming up on Speed. Relive the race. Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Winston Cup Wednesday brings you all the action of the past week's NASCAR event. Here in Argentina, just about everyone's relieved there's only one stage left on day 2.
From the start, it's very twisty with a lot of jumps and crests as we pass around the lake. Very popular with spectators. It then climbs steeply on a narrow and twisty road. This road is quite a soft surface which cuts up very easily. It generally will get quite rutted as it was used recently on a local rally, which makes conditions even worse for the crews. As we pass over the top of the hill, the descent is quite twisty, but on a much rockier, harder base, which makes it quite difficult on tyres.
19 stages down, and Sebastian Loeb's Argentina debut has so far been very impressive. He went off the road and can't get back on. His second retirement of the season. The Frenchman has to exit through the co-driver's side to inspect the damage, but his rally is over. Marcus Grönholm would love to catch Richard Burns and end the day in second place. With signs out of the way, he now knows he has every chance of pulling off this amazing comeback, and he sets the fastest time. Burns powers to the end of the stage and the end of the day, looking to hold on to second.
Slight left long to crest 100, flat left in 70.
Despite all of his efforts, Richard can't keep his teammate at bay. 19 seconds slower than Marcus, and the Finn takes second. Carlos Sainz is understandably agitated, but he's not going to let the drama slow him down. It's an immediate comeback. He takes third off of Burns. There's a new rally leader, Marco Martin. Perhaps he's the only driver in the rally who can hold Grönholm off and take his first ever WRC victory, and the first for the new Focus.
Carlos, you're finishing the day in third position, not in first position. How annoyed are you about this afternoon?
Well, obviously I'm quite disappointed because it was just stupid problem of communication between Mark and myself.
Now we are, I don't know, 15 seconds behind Marco. Not bad, but maybe he can push back. I think he will try.
Nothing we could do to stop him, I think, at the moment.
Yet again, there's an entirely new look to the leaderboard. Martin leads from Grönholm, Sainz slips to third above Burns, but it's too close to call, and tomorrow should be thrilling.
Well, day 2 was as dramatic as day 1. You know, I can't believe it, guys. We're having a great rally here. Of course, all the spectator problems this morning, getting the drivers really fired up, hanging around at time controls. But the big story is the disaster for Carlos Sainz. His co-driver checking him in 1 minute early at Service G. Poor old Mark Marty is close to tears. I'd give him a big hug. But, you know, he's got it all to fight for tomorrow. Marco Martin, can he win his first rally? He's got Marcus Grönholm breathing down his neck. My money is on Marcus Grönholm, but now Marco Martin is up front. You know, I would like him to win, but all to play for. I look forward to bringing you the results tomorrow.
Here in the heartland of Argentina, it's been a fiesta of action that's thrilling thousands of fans. Already, there's been 2 days of stunning driving and fierce competition, and now it's crunch time. You're about to see a classic battle for victory. This is the arena, the mountains around the city of Cordoba, northwest of Buenos Aires. In store today, Over 60 miles of roads that twist and turn through the mountainsides. This is no Sunday drive. As Marcus Grönholm knows only too well, there's been more twists and turns in the reigning world champ's fortunes than there has been on the roads of Argentina. At the start of day one, he was on fire and built a healthy lead, but a rock severely damaged his wheel. Marcus lost 2 minutes and slipped down to 6th. Undeterred, he set his sights on catching the men in front and the almost impossible task of winning the rally. At the start of day 2, he caught him past Sebastian Loeb. Next to fall was Harry Rovanperä. Grönholm's biggest rival, Richard Burns, conceded 3rd place at the end of the day. Carlos Sainz was in the lead and loving it. There was a mix-up in service. Sainz went in too early. A bitter blow for the Spaniard as he was handed a 1-minute time penalty. Through no fault of his own, he lost the lead and fell to 3rd place. Now, Grönholm's in 2nd, with no intention of stopping there. But first, he'll have to catch rally leader Marco Martin. Martin's had a stunning drive, and it's going to be a hard fight to get the lead from him. If Marco wins, it will be his first ever WRC victory. To get there, he needs to survive 5 grueling stages and the immense pressure of having the 2-time world champ on his tail. It's just 15 seconds that separate the leading pair, and Martin's by no means safe. There's a battle for 3rd as well. Just 3 seconds split Richard Burns and Carlos Sainz. As the drivers arrive at the first of the day's stages, there's a little time left to relax before it's down to business.
This week I mostly been eating steak.
Everyone has their eye on the fight up front, but opinion is split as to who will come out on top.
Faster, faster! It's okay.
Who will be the winner?
Marco Martin, no?
Marcus is quite strong.
Either Marco is a little bit ahead and Marcus is going very fast, so both are, it's going to be difficult.
Well, it could have been really good fun for Marco Martin to win. You know, he really deserved it. He had done a very good job in many rallies. So, but Marcus is going to be a tough guy.
Are you intimidated by this double world champion? He's so very fast.
I think he's a bit of pain for everybody. He's too fast sometimes. But it's no point to moan about that he's too quick. We have to make sure we are quicker.
Maybe he can be a bit nervous, yes, but if it's affect his driving, I don't know. Let's see.
Would you be nervous in his situation if you had yourself chasing you?
Maybe. I remember my first win in Sweden 2000 when Tommy was pushing behind me, so it was quite nervous.
Everybody's expecting you to win today. Do you feel the pressure?
No, I don't feel any pressure, but Carlos is still there also, not far behind, and he is going fast.
Before we begin the battle, let's get Nicky Griss's take on the fight ahead.
Being used for the 2nd time, the crews are very familiar with this stage. The conditions, though, have changed dramatically, and it's this uphill section which is now exceptionally rutted and quite deep in places. This is going to give the transmission a hard time with masses of wheel spin, and of course it's going to cause extra tyre wear. When they pass over the top of the hill, we've got that same flat-out section on a hard rocky base, then twisty towards the finish, making it, again, difficult on tyres.
The fans are certainly ready for an exciting final day.
Argentina! Argentina! Argentina!
Hyundai arrived here hoping to put an end to a disappointing run in 2003. Just 3 points in the Manufacturers' Championship and only 1 point in the Drivers' Championship for Armin Schwartz. He's looking to better that here. He's 7th and on for 2 points. This is the second Ford Focus driven by Francois Duval.
50 frein pour gauche 40 ferme entrée d'art.
The Belgian's having gearbox problems. He loses 4th, 5th, and 6th gear. He's finding the car hard to handle, and he's losing lots of time.
Long gauche 40, tenir. Long gauche 40,
Stay with us. The battle up front lies just ahead.
Pour gauche à fond en frein piège. Sur droite 30 backyard.
The first Peugeot into Capilla del Monte is Harry Rovanperez. The Finn needs to impress his Peugeot team bosses here, but 5th place makes him the slowest of the team's 3 cars. Next into the stage is Rovanperez's teammate Richard Burns. He's trying as hard as he can to get on the pace of Grönholm, but feels Grönholm's driving style suits the car better than his at the moment. The Englishman may not be on Grönholm's pace, but he's definitely making Carlos Sainz's life a little bit more difficult. Carlos would still be leading if it wasn't for yesterday's time penalty, however. Today, he has to focus on holding on to 3rd. Burns has set the fastest time of the stage so far. His time is on the right. Carlos is slower on the stage, and his lead over Burns is cut to just half a second. Marcus Grönholm has done an incredible job to be sitting on the start line on the final day, challenging for the lead. He has just over 62 miles of stage today to eat into Marco Martin's 15-second lead.
7 ja oikein jouhea. 4. Vasen pirru pitkä hidas kirraa. Nyppy täys. 7.
Looking at co-driver Michael Park through the windshield of the new Ford, you can see just how low the co-drivers are sitting these days. It's meant to improve weight distribution. For the first time Martin sat behind the wheel of his new Ford Focus, he's been on the pace. A flawless run today might just keep the Peugeot at bay. Just under 7 miles into the stage, and all's not well inside the Ford.
Super 1 for Beef. The engine is broken. The oil pressure light came on, and 30 seconds later it's gone.
Okay, Beef, thanks. Sorry about that. I'll come back to you in a couple of minutes to get your location.
We are still driving. Do you want us to continue? It's no power. It's like really flat. The engine is really flat, but it's still moving. Do you want us to continue or stop?
If you have no oil pressure, then stop.
Yes, it's zero oil pressure. You want us to stop, yeah?
Yes, if there is no oil pressure, then stop.
For the second rally in a row, Martin retires with engine failure. The rally has a new leader. Characteristically, Marcus seems unfazed by his luck and his feat of driving through the field.
Stage is clear for Marcus. Eturengas on varmaan. Oi, mitä?
Marcus, I believe Marco Martin has stopped on the stage.
Aha. Boy, that was sad. Again.
So you are now rally leader?
Yes, but still we have a long way to go.
It's a remarkably calm scene around the retired Ford, but it's a sad end to a stunning performance from Michael Park and Marco Martin.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when you retire from a rally, but when you're actually leading and you retire, it's harder to swallow.
What would it have meant to you to win this rally? Because this would have been your first WRC victory. This was so important for you.
Okay, we have been close a couple of times, but haven't done it so far. So we keep trying. It's a bit annoying sometimes that things are not going very smoothly, but I have to accept it and try hard in Greece, I think.
For the 4th time in this rally, there's a change at the top of the leaderboard. Grönholm leads, Sainz now takes second, but Burns is so close the Spaniard's going to have to work hard on the next stage. With the rally winding down, we thought this would be a good time to give you a few of the best onboards from the rally, handpicked by the man himself.
Tiukas ja heti vasen hidas takavino.
Here's Marcus Grönholm. This is a very tricky part of the stage, but just look how easy Marcus makes it look.
8 ja vasen nopea. 8. Oikein tosi hidas takavino. 8. Vasen pitkä hidas kirraa, kivi sisään lopus. 7. Oikein nopea. 100. Vaseri miinus sumppu. Kiviä sisällä. 100. Ja nyppy täys. Oikein jouhee. 5. Vaseri miinus ja oikein hidas ahdas.
For me, this is a guy in real control.
Tiukka sumppu ja nyppy oikea laita. Vasen eri kivi sisällä. Oikein täys. 120.
Narrow shot, 6 right minus.
We're riding on board with Petter Solberg and Phil Mills. It's a very busy piece of stage. Just listen to the pace notes from Phil Mills.
2 right minus, tightens of a water splash. Into slippy, 1 left plus. Half long. And 2 right minus, half long. Opens 80. Short 6 right plus, 60. Short 6 left and 6 right plus, 40. Crest 30, water splash and very slippy, 5 left plus tightens, 4, 40, water splash, the bump into short 2 right plus, very slippy, 60, crest and 6 left plus, open 60, slippy, 4 left tightens to water splash, to narrow, 6 left over bump and ruts, 6 right minus, half long, tightens 3 plus, half long tightens, and 6 left, half long, tightens of a bad bump on water, 40, short ball left, bad bump on 150, short ball left 150, caution, line into 6 left plus of a big jump, 80.
I told you it was busy. Great stuff, Petter.
Into 6 right minus, half long.
Here is some great flat-out action with Carlos Sainz and Mark Marty.
Derecha rápida más, para izquierda buena más, se cierra, para 1.
Well, that's all of Nick's picks for this week. Lots more yet to come from Rally Argentina. Stay with us here on Speed.
Early in the morning, they get severe dust problems here as there's absolutely no wind in the valley. And it's because of this problem that the organisers have given all the crews a 3-minute gap. That's to let the dust settle before the next car comes. It's still not going to be easy, as I'm sure dust will still be hanging. There's some great jumps and bumps and some water splashes towards the end, but I think it's the later crews that could be suffering with the dust. All in all, it won't be an easy stage.
Just the kind of finish we're looking forward to. Didier Oriol is the best of the 2 Skodas. He's in 7th overall.
Long gauche à fond, 5 km. Long gauche à fond. Faites attention, droite 5 plus arbre. 5 plus arbre. Sur gauche à fond, plonge. 5 plus arbre. Sur gauche à fond, plonge. À fond, plonge. Léger droite sur gauche à fond.
Once again, more manufacturer points look to be in the cards for the Czech team, who've scored on every round so far this season. It's going to be great to see what they can do with the Fabia. Francois Duval is desperate to make service. He's just lost another gear, and time is slipping away from him. That's very bad news for Petter Solberg, who gets caught in his dust. It's difficult to see ahead.
The very slippy, 6 right minus into shot 2 left of a crest. 50, 40. Oh, I know, we're just going to have to think about this now. 60 in the crest, 150. Slippy braking.
Remember what Nicky said about the dust, and Duval can't see what's behind him either.
Stefan from Malcolm, can you pull over? Petter's behind you, please.
Okay, no problem, we are stopped, we wait for him.
100. Hey, okay.
Safely passed, Petter's back to the throttle again. He says 4th fastest time, and he's 5th overall. The fight for 2nd place is on. Richard Burns continues to push Carlos Sainz. He sets fastest time and a hard target for Sainz to beat.
I think easy left plus long opens 100. Richard finished the stage.
Yes, I think it has, yes, it has. Hang on.
El Matador is up to the challenge. He knows he has to at least match Burns.
Para limpias, Río Barro, derecha buena más, se cierra el ras, a la izquierda rápida abajo corta, para 1, a la derecha una más corta, a la izquierda rápida abajo ras, 2, izquierda rápida menos poco tarde, se cierra.
The pressure doesn't get to the Spaniard, he's fastest on the stage.
13.05.
Maybe that's because Marcus Grönholm doesn't need to push too hard. He has an 18-second lead, and it's best to go easy and just hold on to it. No trouble at the top, but plenty of action. As they stand, 3 French cars are heading for the podium, and 2 Skodas are heading for points. There's one last service in La Cumbre, and things are looking good for Peugeot. One driver in position to win the rally, and another gunning for second.
The important thing for me is to keep my head down and keep fighting with Carlos and do the best times I can. And however that is with regard to Marcus doesn't make any difference because I can just do the best I can.
There's a somber atmosphere over at Ford. The disappointment of Martin's retirement is felt by all the team.
Malcolm, I can't imagine how you and the team feel.
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, we're all pretty gutted. I mean, we really felt that it was a big challenge for Marco this morning to be able to stay in front of Marcus. But we were, everybody's in very good spirits. We felt we got his confidence level very high this morning before he left, and obviously to hear the radio crackle into life 11 k's into the stage to say that it had an engine problem, as you can imagine, the whole team's pretty deflated.
Rally Argentina still promises plenty of drama. 3 tough stages stand between Marcus Grönholm and a historic victory. But as we've seen this weekend, anything can happen. We'll be right back right after the break. Welcome back to Rally Argentina. With just 3 stages to go, the rally's about to reach a thrilling finale. But as Nicky Grist tells us, it's no easy task that lies ahead. Up first, La Falda.
A tricky start to the last group of 3 stages. Square corners and long straights from the beginning, but also a lot of water splashes and nasty rocks at the side of the road. This one, for example, on a kink, but it is flat out, but you have to be inch perfect. There's danger everywhere in here, and it's not going to be easy for those crews fighting for the lead. Most definitely, being so short, you can only lose the rally in here, not win it.
Sitting in 6th, Armin Schwartz was looking for Hyundai's best result of the season so far. The car was about to let him down. Away from the cameras, his engine failed. He was forced to retire. Once again, the Korean team leave a rally empty-handed. After problems with the car yesterday, it looked like Tony Gardemeister wouldn't score either. But his perseverance has paid off. He's up to 7th and on for 2 points. That means 2 cars will score for Skoda. Didier Auriol's ahead of his teammate. So far, the team has scored on every rally this season, and it looks like their 100% record secure. Duval's back from service with his gearbox fixed. All Ford's hopes now rest on the young Belgian. The point he'll score will be some consolation for the team. Petter Solberg is the only Subaru left in the rally. Teammate Tommy Mäkinen had no chance to score and asked to withdraw so he could go back to Finland and be with his newborn son. Petter's still going flat out, though. After all, there's 4 valuable championship points in line for him if he can keep his position. Harry Rovanperä still trails both his Peugeot teammates. He's 4th.
3.20. Nyppy helppo 7.
There's tense moments in Richard Burns' car. He's having some problems with his turbocharger, but certainly it's not enough to affect his speed. He puts in a determined charge through La Cumbre, fastest so far. Carlos Sainz has done an incredible job for Citroën this weekend. It's the first time the team have contested Rally Argentina, and any podium place will be a great result. But Sainz is mad he's not leading in 3rd place. Looks like it will be a bitter disappointment for him.
En cruce, poco tarde se cierra muchísimo, frenando a abrirse, acaba izquierda buena menos, se cierra y ras. Rasante en derecha buena, se abre. Para izquierda buena más corta, 2. Izquierda derecha calenta, se cierra.
Carlos might have to settle for third as Burns moves into second. Up front, Grönholm's really enjoying himself now. 2 fastest stage times and no problems. With just 1 test to go, Richard has some concerns about his car.
I'm still pushing hard, but in the previous stage, something must have happened in the service because we've got, I've got boost, I've got power, but I have no response in the engine at all. So I'm having to slip the clutch and try and feed it out of every corner, and it's not ideal when you're fighting.
So whether or not Sainz is aware of Burns' problems, he's working hard. Carlos is making sure he's in the best shape to snatch second place back. With only 5 seconds between the Englishman and the Spaniard, this fight is not over yet. It looks like no more battles for Grönholm, though. Only bad luck or a mistake can deny him the win now. Who will claim second overall? Carlos is the defending champion, while Richard still hasn't won in a Peugeot. The finish of the Rally Argentina coming up on Speed. As he heads on to the final stage of Rally Argentina, Marcus Grönholm is all too aware of the dangers that lie ahead. Last time he went into the stage, he came out of it with just 3 wheels. The battle for second is now on, and in a few minutes, this epic endurance test will be decided. Carlos is first in. 2 minutes later, Burns follows. He needs everything to be working perfectly, and he desperately wants to finish ahead of Sainz.
And medium right plus in. No.
We've lost power. We've lost power.
Long 40, medium right tight.
We lost power, not tire. We lost power, no turbo.
Tail end. Oh. Be safer, Robert. Be safer, Robert. We have no turbo, no power.
No power.
Understood. At first stage.
It's not important.
Slow medium right tight, maybe.
Is there anything I can? I've tried power, maxi A, maxi B, road, nothing.
50 right max.
For 3 days now, Burns has given his all, only for the car to let him down on the very last stage.
Richard, do you think he's done enough to hold?
I have not done enough. Turbo's broken. Turbo.
Here's a look at just what an impact the broken turbo had.
Here we see Richard Burns chasing Carlos Sainz. He has lost his anti-lag system, which gives him instant throttle response. As he goes into this next left-hand corner, his turbocharger blows. He's lost 75% of his power. He's lost so much power, he can only use second gear. He's now checking all the gauges, he's pressing all the switches, but he realizes there is nothing he can do other than cruise the last 5 kilometers.
Carlos Sainz can understand exactly how Burns feels, but this time luck smiles on the man they call El Matador. He's fastest through the last stage and second in the rally. Perhaps the memory of the time penalty and what might have been accounts for the subdued handshake. In an event that's demanded 100% from the world's greatest rally drivers, it's Marcus Grönholm who's been the star. Yesterday's climb up the leaderboard and an equally good drive today sees him finish 26 seconds ahead of the others to take the victory.
Huomio, paseri miinus. Ja oikein eri. 200. Vähän pois vähän. Vasen nopee. 8.
Fantastic drive. Yes. Fantastic drive.
Marcus, you happy? Happy?
Yes, I'm happy, yes. Hard fight. I mean, when we did this first stage, first lap here on Friday, I couldn't believe that we can win because we hit the stone and lost nearly 2 minutes. Now we won, so it's not bad.
A worthy win for the world champ and a solid boost to his title defense. Third place for Burns is a huge blow, but great work from Sainz to bring his Citroen home in second.
This is a very, very bittersweet second place for you.
It could have been another victory, but that's life. When those things happen, you cannot do anything. And at the end of the day, well, I'm happy. I think we did a good rally, pushing very hard from the beginning. The car has been working very well, and it's not so easy to come here with a new car without testing and be straight away competitive.
It was quite difficult fighting with Carlos, but we got in front, and then the last stage, 8K from the end, the turbo just stopped.
Did you take any consolation from being on the podium, though?
At the moment now, maybe maybe in half an hour.
Marcus, congratulations. That must be one of the best comebacks ever in rallying.
No, I don't know ever in rallying, but maybe for me the best comeback after so many minutes we lost on the first end. Not many, but too much.
Burns may not have had the result he wanted, but it's enough to keep him ahead in the championship. Grunholm's cut his lead down to just 2 points, and behind them the 3 Citroens, but now it's Sainz who's leading that pack. At the other end, Harry Rovanperä gets his first points of the season. With 5 rounds gone, Peugeot and Citroen are locked in quite a battle between manufacturers. Now with more, here's Penny.
Well, guys, that was one hell of a rally. With me again is Nicky Grist. We haven't seen a rally that exciting for ages, have we?
Well, the first one this year, but 3 days of action, Penny. Who could have predicted that?
Now, first day, Marcus Grönheim obviously had that problem. It lost him 1 minute and 45 seconds, and he goes on to win the rally.
Well, it just shows what a different class the guy is in to everybody else. He's just got so much confidence, hasn't he?
Do you know what I believe? Is that Marcus Grönheim is the only driver out there who truly, truly believes he will win an event. And I always have believed that a lot of this goes on in your head, and he seems to be able to drive such a strong rally, and even when something disastrous happens, he doesn't get down and depressed like the other drivers. He'll pick himself up and take the challenge all the way to the end.
I think all the other drivers are afraid of him, and I think he's using this confidence and showing everybody else that he's got this confidence to his own advantage. I mean, he's scaring everybody else into second place almost.
Now, I spoke to Richard Burns and to Carlos Sainz at the end of the rally, both of whom were very disappointed and looking very down with both of their results.
Well, of course, Carlos, what happened to him yesterday with that minute penalty for checking into service early, of course he was going to be down because he would have won the rally easily. And of course, Richard Burns, all to fight for, and then things go horribly wrong on the last day. But you know, that gave some consolation at least for Carlos, because he did drive and he did really win this rally.
Well, there you go, a fantastic Rally of Argentina, packed from the first stage to the last stage with brilliant rally action. We'll see you next time in Greece.
Indeed, the battle continues in the world-famous Acropolis Rally. Rocks wreck cars and searing heat drains bodies. It's always a nail-biter, and it's one of the few rallies Marcus Grönholm's never won. The drama from Greece will unfold here on Speed with same-day coverage. It's on Sunday, June 8th, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. In the meantime, don't forget Rally XS, Tuesday, June 3rd at 6 Eastern. Any way you look at it, there's no denying Marcus Grönholm has been great this weekend. And that's why he's Nicky Grist in Marsat Star of the Rally. After easily leading on the first day, then losing 1 minute 44 seconds and dropping to 6th after hitting a rock, Marcus drove brilliantly to take back the lead, win the rally, and set a stage record along the way. Here Marcus happily accepts the award from Nicky, his champagne and a check for $5,000 to give to his favorite charity. Truly a magic weekend, Marcus. It's been a thrilling rally here in Argentina. 3 days of edge-of-your-seat action and an outstanding win for Marcus Grönholm. A victory that shows why he dominates his sport. With that, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from the Rally of Argentina.